Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking uh, about what's going to happen between, zodiac signs and what's going to happen between the earth signs, the fire signs, the air signs, the water signs. Um, I know it's been a while since I did a live video a few days ago, and it's been a while since it has. But, into a perspective way is like we are going to have a good time knowing about this. You know, um, in the past of the readings that I do, I usually do them. It's like building a story, right? You build a story and then you start from uh, from start, middle, and end. But some say that when we believe in the circumstances that I do, it's basically it seems to be, you know. That's why this is between a good introduction that I'm actually doing, okay. And there are things that you already know, but sometimes you don't know, right? And this is how it kind of is because in my perspective way is like when I do live videos, I basically do them, and it's usually that time frame. What I mean by time frame is that we usually have to do this in order to succeed in life. You know, it kind of happens when COVID-19 is around, and everybody's thinking like, oh, it's gonna be a lockdown, or oh, I'm too scared, or I'm gonna be unvaccinated, or whatever it is. You have to believe in your own self that you have to be stronger. You have to be stronger in others. You have to believe in that. You have to believe in order to achieve, you know, and this is how it's going to be. Now, when I get the video going on, or the zodiac signs, I'm going to do this, that it's going to be good, right? And this is how it's going to be. So before I kind of like do this into perspective perspective way, um, it comes to my attention that everything must be seem good, right? And this is how it's going to be. So, without further ado, that I usually understanding of what's happening is like this is how it's going to be, okay, and this is how it seems to be, okay, and everything it seems to be all fine and dandy and whatnot, but this is how it's going to be relating to you, and this is how it's going to be inviting you, okay. So what I'm going to do is that we're going to do all zodiac signs, and this is how it's going to be. So basically moving this bit, and we are going through this, and this is how it's going to be. Right. So starting off, what seems to be happening on this wonderful Saturday. Basically, I'm going to think and acknowledge of what's going to happen. So you have to have a good way of knowing and a good way of not knowing, but you don't know how the cards are going to be. I usually shuffle like this, but I don't know how to other shuffle. So basically I'll try to do it. Okay, well, it's a start. Not very good at shuffling with this. But we're going to do a few things of what's going to happen between the cards. We're going to decide on what's happening and how everything will be. So hopefully you will like it. Hopefully you will enjoy it, and hopefully it will be good. So here it is, and hopefully it will be good. Right. So all right. So there's going to be 4. Let's do this, shall we? I haven't did this for a while. This is a different spread, but we're going to underline that. We're going to figure this out. So we're going to start with, okay, so we have the sun that's upright. The fool is upright. Interesting. Ace of wands is reversed. Interesting. 4 of cups is upright. The 6 of wands is reversed. Interesting. And the lovers. Okay, so basically in this reading, that it seems to be kind of, it looks kind of strange. And I'm not going to say that this is a strange reading, but this is going to see what's going to happen. Okay, we have, at least we have, well, we have different things going on. You have the sun as the sunshine. You have the energy that's going through. The 4 of cups represents water signs. So if it's basically Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, that would be good. But it seems to be that there are between 3 reversed. Interesting, right? And then there's only 1, 2, and 3 are upright. Now it seems to be that this is a very, very different interpretation of it. Okay, there is a good way of knowing, and there is some type of knowing. What I meant by that is that this reading seems to be different. Okay, and this is how it's going to be. Now, what I mean is that when this seems to be different, it is different. Okay, and you need to believe in this. You have to believe in something. Okay, because when I'm doing this, it seems to be that everything seems to be okay, but the short priority of it is quite different. Okay, and there's a different strategy of doing this, because when you think about this in this reading, it's actually different. So, the further ado, if you are the 4 of cups, the Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, you're first actually. But basically in this reading right here, I'm just going to do it there. This is how it's going to be. So let me read. The lovers, I guess. The lovers is reversed. It says, honor and love your beautiful self. Integrate the different parts of yourself to find true alignment and harmony. Become aware of what you value and honor those values in your choices. So basically, what it means in the Lover's card, you know, this seems to be a little bit more different. Okay, it is between different because you have to look at yourself in a different way and say, okay, I love this. I love my little acting way. I kind of I kind of acknowledge that. Well, acting seems to be okay, but the short time it is, like you have to, because it's like when you look at the Fool card, even if it is, let me do that. The Fool is new opportunities, beginnings are available to you. Be open-minded and curious, ready to explore and discover new things. Play and have fun and be spontaneous. This is what it is. And it seems to be that you have to understand that there is a helping hand with this. You know, um, you know, help be part of the solution, right? You have to believe in that. There's a way of knowing this, and there's not a good way of knowing this. But you have to believe in yourself, saying, okay, I can do this. I can take it on. Then go ahead and take it on, right? And this is why it happens. This is why it seems to be that it's like it's good to have a good way of knowing this, and it seems to be okay, but you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe. And when you believe in your own self, okay, I can do this. I can put the metal to the metal. Yeah, you can. But you have to believe in there. Now there's only this is reversed. Then you have this is reversed. Interesting, right? Then you have this is reversed. See, you have positive energy and you have negative energy. But doesn't it stop there? Right? Doesn't it stop there? Now, the thing is that when you look at yourself in a different way and saying, okay, I can do this, then you have to state that emotion, saying, okay, I will get it. I'll do it. I'll go after it. Go after it. Right? And that's what it is. Go after and buy a pot, or go after and buy something. But you have to honor that. You have to honor that, because when I see this becoming a different way, like if I see this, it's a different way, it's a different outlet, right? So you have to acknowledge that. But it seems to be that there is circumstances, like there's the Six of Wands that I'm going to look. Let's see. The Six of Wands is, you may be lacking in self confidence, seeking approval validation from others rather than trusting yourself. Stop comparing yourself to others. It is taking away your personal power and self belief. Yeah, that's what it is. Then the Ace of Wands has reverse as well. Oh, goodness. The Ace of Wands reverses, you can feel an idea emerging, but you are uncertain what form it will take, or how you will manifest it in the world. You may keep your idea private for now until you have more confidence in taking it forward. Yeah, so you have to believe in yourself that, okay, what I'm going to do, right? But what can you do, right? So that's why this reading seems to be good, but it seems to be odd and strange. Okay, okay, what are signs? More. So we have the Eight of Wands. We have the Seven of Cups. Interesting. We have the Three of Cups reversed. Interesting. The Five of Swords. Oh boy. The Ace of Pentacles and the King. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God. Water, air, fire, earth. Oh my God, there's 4 zodiac signs here. Oh my God. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. That's nine zodiac signs in this picture. Holy moly. Look at this. 9 zodiac signs here. What in God's name that this is representing here? Okay, what in God's name? Do you see how this is it? Okay, this is a fantastic reading, but oh my God, like oh my Lord, right? Like you have to see it. And there's only one reversed. That's interesting. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is upright, 1 reversed. That is a really, really, really insanity of it. This seems to be curiosity, actually. It is. No doubt. But this seems to be curious. And this is how it's going to be, right? And like it's just how it's going to be. When I look at this in a different way, there is a one way or another way, right? One way is that you're looking at positive. You know exactly where you're gonna go. The other way around is like, oh, should I get this? Should I not? Right? But you don't know. You don't know which way, right? And it seems to be like that. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is there is a good way of knowing about this. Okay? This is why it seems to be like, okay, what are we going to do? Right? But this is how I'm trying to tell you this. So basically what this reading is about is that you have this, okay? This is like almost a give and take situation, but it's different. So basically the 3 of Cups reversed, okay? This is how it's going to be. So yeah. 3 of Cups reversed is collaborations aren't your thing right now. Instead, you're inclined to work on your own. You need to find a creative outlet to express yourself privately. Yes, you have to. You have to do that. Okay? You have to express yourself privately. You have to express that. You have to. Okay, you have to express this. You have to express that. And that's why this has to be expressive. Okay? You have to express that. All 9 zodiac signs here. You have to express that. Because this is why that this is a good reading. It seems to be good because everyone's doing the same thing, going on vacations and whatnot. But it seems to be that when things don't go your way, um, it seems to be standing, right? But don't think about it that way. Think about it as a good way of acknowledgement. Like, you see yourself, like imagine yourself being on stage and then you were too afraid to go out there. And then you think, okay, and then all of a sudden you do something to make yourself laugh. That's how you have to do. You have to express yourself that way. Because, there is a good way of doing it. The wrong way is like, okay, I'm too afraid. I'm not gonna do anything. Let's cancel the show, right? But you have to believe that. You have to understand that because there's a good way of knowing about it, right? And this is how it seems to be good. But you have to believe in your own self. Okay, like it. That's why this seems to be okay, but it seems to be not okay. And this is why it seems to be that. But before I do more, I got more of that. Okay, I've got a different here, different set of cards here, and it's still the same. But we're going to look at this. We're going to see this about this way, because there's 9 zodiac signs in this picture. Okay, but usually what that means is that it could be more than that. It could be more suitable for it. Um, what I mean by suitable, this is how it's going to be. Okay, so in this thing that I'm trying to do, this is what's going to happen. Okay, so hopefully you like this video still, because this seems to be good. Okay, so this is how it's going to be. Bring it down a bit. Okay, more shuffle. Okay, so tell me something about the opposite of these nine zodiac signs and what they're doing. Because I know it seems to be travel and something. So tell me something about this. Let's see. Okay, so the 9 of Pentacles, but it would be reversed as well. But the 9 of Pentacles. The 9 Pentacles represents something here, because it seems to be something rather than nothing. And I try to figure this out. What's the opposite of the 9 of Pentacles here with the 9 zodiac signs? the Seven of Pentacles. Interesting. So we have the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Seven Pentacles. So we have Earth, Fire, Air, Water. Plus another Earth. That's 10. 10 zodiac signs. My God. 10 zodiac signs. Hmm. You know, this reading seems to be a lot, like a lot, right? And I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. So, without further ado, move more of this. And this reading isn't over yet, okay? But we're going to define it. We're going to define this. So we're going to do that, and then I'll bring one of the energy oracle cards. Not that card. But that. Okay, so tell me something that would involve 10 zodiac signs in this reading, and give me a reading of this spirit, and let's see what it involves. Where are these heading? The thinking man. Now the thinking man represents, let's see what it is. Okay, so the thinking man. Let me read about that, shall we? The thinking man is, so it says that, so basically it means that the thinking man is a male of wisdom, or understanding. That's what this card means. And basically that's what it is. Now, here's the thing that it's going to be involving. It's going to be a long reading this because I gotta read, but just yeah, here we go. This card shows a man standing before an archway, gazing at a crystal in his hand. He is a thoughtful and reflective man, representing the potential presence of a teacher in your life now, or about to arrive soon. This person may be there to educate you in the finer details of your chosen direction, or may be there to assist you in some specific spiritual, mental, or emotional pursuits. The card is telling you to pay attention, for this could lead to great strides in personal or professional growth. This man may also be a love interest coming your way, or perhaps just a new male friend. But be on the lookout for this guide in the physical world and be open to his information. Learn what you can, a new discipline, technique, course of study, or healing practice could change your life forever. So it seems to be that when I look at the nine zodiac signs here, like we have travel, we have, you know, the five of swords represents almost maybe conflict. I don't know, but you have to have a give and take situation here. Now, because I'm trying to do this, right? And I know that this seems to be hard of doing a reading like this. And it is a process. And sometimes it is a process and sometimes it's not. The more physical reality of it, like, there's a receiving and a not receiving, you know. It's like, what I'm trying to say is like it's like arrival and departure, right? This is how it's gonna be. You know, your life seems to be changing. Okay, if you are like, let's say if you are being my example of like being a magician, you have to understand the tricks. You have to understand your physical and your soul level, because there is a way of doing this. There's a good way and there's a bad way, right? But you have to understand of it, because you have to pay attention to the rules. You have to pay attention, right? Like, everyone has to pay attention to everything, like, like around the world or what have you. But you have to believe in your own self, saying, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. But what can you do, right? And you have to believe in your own self. You have to believe, saying, okay, I gotcha. What do you got me of, right? And that's a above all question. So you have to understand that there is simple and a reality of it. And you have to understand that it's like, um, it's like me doing like, uh, like the truth about healing, right? There we go. Because I have the book, right? But I can read everything else. But you have to be available to be truth about healing. You have to heal your own self. Like, if you were sad, or your family members will help you, or you can go to counseling, or you can do it all by yourself, like being independent, right? But there is a way of knowing this, right? Because when this is a fantastic reading, it involves that. But when things do change, it is, right? And things do change. Because the point being is that when I tried to do this reading, I didn't know that there would be nine zodiac signs. I didn't know until now. But the nine zodiac signs, it is a lot of come by. There is a lot, right? And you have to do that. So you have to. You have to believe that the universe is probably giving you something. Maybe you don't know yet, but maybe it could. So you have to understand that, right? And there is a way of doing things. You just have to do them on your own, right? And this is how it's going to be. Now, not only that about this reading right now, but while this is going good, we haven't had the children's spirit animal cards for a long time. So, further ado of this, I'll get everything all set up here. This is how it's going to be. Last time I used these cards was just a long time ago. But basically, this is how it's going to be. Usually I'm going to bring this down now. Okay, so let me find. So what's the opposite of the thinking card that represents with 9 zodiac signs or 10 zodiac signs? There we go. And hopefully this will determine this reading. Oh, he almost came out, but I wanted 1, not 2. Alright. Basically, I'm going to move this out of the way there. I know that this is supposed to be in here, but just going to do it. Let's see. Let's see what this reading is. Just move this a little bit over. There it is. And all right, let's see. Learn from your mistakes. Interesting concept. Yeah. Learn about your mistakes. So if you are a coyote, that if you like this one, isn't it fantastic? Yeah, it is. Anyway, learn from your mistakes. Okay? We all been there and we all been doing that. Okay? There is a right way, there's a wrong way, right? It's like if you have a friendship and your friendship is okay, then all of a sudden your friendship is gone, right? And then you say sorry and you're apologizing and all that. But in this reading, yeah, learn from your mistakes. You have to do that. You have to understand that. Okay? And you have to learn that bit by bit, day by day, month by month, and year by year. You have to do that. And it will work. You just have to put your words out there. You have to put your messages out there. Okay? So basically what I'm trying to say is you have to do this. You have to do this because if you're going to ask me, oh, when I'm going to do what? That's a really good question there. And I'm going to answer that. It has to be that you have to understand about the problems that we have in the world right now. There is a lot. There is a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot. Because when you face your own reality, you're like talking to yourself to a wall. And a wall doesn't talk to you. No, seriously, it doesn't talk to you. But but it happens. Okay, it happens where you talk to yourself just just by yourself, and when you talk to yourself, you understand who you think that you're talking to. But no, you could be talking to your soul because it's inside me and it's inside by everybody else's. But you have to understand that when you learn from your mistakes, you have to do that. You have to sit there and think and think and think. You have to do that. And that's why it seems to be okay, but really it's not. Okay? And that's why this reading seems to be long. But the short timing of it, when I have at least hmm, like at least hmm, 10 zodiac signs here. It seems to be like uh, not forgettable, no, but it seems to be all right, right? Because when you look at this, you think, oh my gosh, this is a whole lot, right? And this is like actually half the table, and you only have a bit of space here, right? But the thing is, what I'm trying to talk about is that when you learn from your mistakes, like when you have negative and you have bad behavior and cursing and you have bad language, and that's what the five of swords meant. The five of swords is actually conflict, right? And basically it's a pain. It's a pain in the butt. It actually is. So in this case here, you know, the only thing that I find is one reverse card, and that's this. The others, seem to be upright. Even these two as well. But this is how it's going to be. You have to nurture this. And it's a good question to ask. What I am nurturing about. When you're nurturing at something, even let's say a garden, for example. When you nurture a garden, you have to take care of it. You have to water it. You have to do all kinds of things with it. And yes, it seemed to be good that way. But the try of the point being is that you have to look at you have to look at it from not a garden but yourself. Like take the garden away, right? Here's the garden, here's you. You have to take this away from this. Okay? That's what I'm trying to do. Because you have to learn from your mistakes. You have to learn from that. Because it's like a give and take scenario. Like I give you this, like the rating, and then you receive the video, which means that you're watching it. That's how it is, right? So that's what you have to do. You have to look at both sides. But it seems to be okay. It seems to be good. But that's what you have to do. And this reading seems to be long, but I will do more. Okay, but just remember. So just give me 1 second here. And if you're thinking, what's just happened? Well, that's kind of like done with this reading, but there could be more readings out there, so we don't know what's happening. Oh, interesting. These two want to come out. Well, I'll put them over here then. Don't know what those are. So we have to look at this in a good way or whatever it is. But we're going to do this. So that's what it's going to be. So let's see. Let's what we got. Seven of Cups, King of Wands. Strength card is reversed. Interesting. The Six of Swords, King of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. Interesting. There's another. There's another conflict. So we have water, fire, earth, air. Another 4 zodiac signs again. Like 9 zodiac signs, but here we go. It's gonna be Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and Pentacles is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and Wands is Libra. No, oops, sorry. Wands is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is like 10 zodiac signs in this picture again. What the heck? 10 zodiac signs in this picture again. Crime and Netley. Don't know what that means, but interesting. Who is backstabbing who? Who? Like there's something going on. Okay, there's something going on here. Is the Five of Swords is close to a Six of Swords. Six of Swords is just before the Five of Swords. Okay. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure this out. Yeah, see, I'm trying to figure this out because there's only one reverse card that I see, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 upright again. But it's 10, it's 10 zodiac signs again. And there is a lot. And there is a lot. Because point being that I'm not trying to be stunned in this reading, but I think I am. Because I'm gonna read the reverse card of the strength. Let's see. Let's see what it seems to be. Strength is reversed. It says you are a powerful force. You just need to connect with this inner power in a constructive way. Others may question your strength, but you are fierce inside. See, it means that others may question your strength, but you are fierce inside. Maybe you are acting like, maybe, let's say, for example, you don't have strength. Okay, let's put that. Now, imagine yourself playing, I don't know, let's say soccer. You're playing soccer, you're playing soccer, you're playing soccer. All of a sudden, one of your friends will ask you, "What's what's your power of strength?" The other person who is talking to the other one is probably saying, "I don't have strength." The other person will say, "How do you know you have strength?" So it means that what I'm trying to say is, okay, and that's actually a good example, actually. There are tough times ahead. There is a tough time because, when I see this as a bigger outflow of a picture, you have to have a good way of knowing this, inside and out. You have to do that because it seems to be that when you see this, a good way of acknowledgement, you know, like the question I was asking was, what's your power for strength, right? And when the other one is saying, no, I don't have strength, then it's like you completely understand, you misunderstood the question because you don't know, right? But what I'm saying is that when I look at this reading, it's like there is a backstabbing between the good side or the negative side. And and this seems to be like doing this, right? With all the zodiac signs here. You have to recommend by someone. You have to apologize of what you have done. Maybe you had a fight with somebody. Maybe your parents were mad at you because you didn't do anything. Or maybe it's just mine. But I'm trying to think this through, okay? And these are my words that I'm trying to say. Because you have everything else. You're doing well. But when you think of yourself and saying, okay, I got this, then what do you got? Like, what can you do, right? Because when I see things differently, I do. It's just that the readings are quite different, and they are. But this is why it seems to be that, gosh, I don't know what sentence I'm going to try to say. Um, Trying to explain it. There is an up in the air. Okay, people say that, an up in the air. What it means by that, it's like when we figure things out, we have to put things into perspective, like puzzles. If you actually do a puzzle, you know what I'm talking about. Picture yourself doing a puzzle, and you're doing, let's say, you're doing the sides, and you're doing this. Well, you're missing the corner pieces, and you're missing the middle. That's only you miss. That's why this reading seems to be impossible. Because what that means in my own way, you have to make it in order to break it. All right? Which means that when you have 10 zodiac signs in this picture that you've seen, it is a lot. It is a lot and a lot and a lot. Because you have to look at things my view, not your view, my view. Because you have to see yourself differently. You have to pretend to be in character, and then pretend that you're being yourself. Forget to be like this, like the pretend character here. Now, when you move that away, put that in the back burner. Like procrastinate about it. What that means is that if my viewers don't know, procrastination means that you put it off until later. That's what it means. That's what it is. Now, look at yourself differently. Okay? Look at yourself differently, saying, okay, I know what I'm going to do. First off, I'm going to apologize. Then keep it there. If you don't apologize, you make yourself worse, right? And that's why this is a good reading to tell. It is absolutely very good at this, okay? And this is like absolutely no necessary because you have to see it in order to believe it. You have to you have to acknowledge is what I'm talking about here. Okay? When I when I when I say about day by day, month by month, year by year, and week by week, energies can flip. Energies can from between positive, negative, or you're having a bad day, or you're having a good day, or you're having a fantastic day, whatever it is. But when something bothers you like that, take it like, okay, okay, which means why you're saying okay. Well, it means that you have to change that influence level of your negative and switch it into a positive. And that's what it is, right? That's why you have to believe in it, saying, okay, I can do this, right? And that's what it is. So I'm going to do the my oracle cards for this reading as well. The same thing that will be this as well, and basically the others that I'm going to add as well. So, and then I'll do the last reading. But this is between more of that, okay? And that's going to keep talking. So, I'm moving this down. Right. So tell me something about this between the 10 zodiac signs in this picture here. Show me something that represents this in spirit. Okay. Anything that is good, something that's not, whatever. So let's see. The goddess of the moon. The goddess of the moon. Nice, eh? Nice. Goddess of the moon. Let me read that to you. Okay? Goddess of the moon. So let's see about this. Let me read this as well. 165. Okay. Oops. Oops. The goddess of the moon represents the intuition going within. So this is what it's going to be. I know that this seems to be a long reading as well for that oracle card, but I'm going to read it to you because it makes sense. And it's going to be the upright, not the reversed, but it's going to be upright. So let's see. Let's see what this is. This card shows an external spirit holding the bright, reflective moon and standing in front of the crystal clear waters of a sparkling waterfall. Her arms are stretched upward, receiving the light of the moon, the light of inspiration. Inspiration. This card is all about intuition, the ability to receive insights from your soul's point of view. Receiving a card upright tells you that you have the power to get intuitive information on all types of issues. Now is the good time to use it. The goddess of the moon brings you all sorts of information, from the mundane to the spectacular. For instance, you could get the Earth to take a different route home from work. Find out later that you have avoided a 3-hour traffic jam. Or you might have an idea for a great invention, a stock investment, or a spell-binding novel. This card could also indicate a significant blossoming of psychability, mediumship, even on a professional level. You're always blessed with this ability to connect, but this card is telling you that now is the perfect time to open up. Get ready for the amazing inspiration this brings. So it means that telling you that now is the perfect time to open up. You have to open up. You have to open up. Even if you say, oh, I don't want to. Well, it means that you have to open up. What it means is that when you open up things, you have to make it as a good way of knowing it. You have to think of it as, when I say it to you, like a couple of videos ago, and I say like, look at yourself inside a box, and then look at yourself outside a box. Well, you have to open up. You have to open up and say, oh, well, I'm very good at this. You have to do that. So, it means that when I when I see this as a good reading, it is, right? But things will change from the right positioning. Okay, it's like looking yourself at a baseball field and think, okay, I'm on home base. Well, the first one is that you have to wait until you go into from home base to first, second, third, and then go back. You have to open yourself up. You have to do that, saying, okay, I'm going to do this, where I'm going to hit the ball of the bat, and then I'll go from first. Well, okay, but if the catcher gets it, you're out. See it that way. See it as a good way of knowing about it. because when you look at, like, let's say issues, like the news, let's talk about the news for a minute here. When I when i look at the news, there's all kinds of issues. There's this, there's that, there's this, there's that, there's this, there's that. The only good news is the weather and probably sports. But when you look at issues around the world, it's like chaotic. It is. You have to think, oh well, this is not good, or okay, well that seems to be okay. But you know, when you are like thinking about the unvaccinated versus the vaccinated, and then versus of like saying, oh, you're all having stress, your anxiety goes up, you're afraid, whatever it is, don't look at it that way. You have to think, saying, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to watch the news every day. Then don't do that, right? Don't watch the news every day, because it will just make you all crazy, saying, like that, right? But you have to like say, okay, all right, I'm going to do this and do this and do this. Then do this, right? And that's what you have to do. But if you watch the news over and over and over and over, and it repeats like a record player, like not a music record player, not a Elton John, not whatever, no. But you have to look at that way of saying, okay, I'm not gonna watch anymore. Then don't. Watch the weather, and then that's it. Or watch a movie, or watch whatever. But 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 let's go back into this reading here. That's why when I look at this as 10 zodiac signs in here, I am amazed. Because the other reading that I did was 9. This is more than like 10. Well, 10 zodiac signs from here, 10 zodiac signs from there, back to back, right? But you have to understand that this could be more than 10. It could be more than that. Like the playing cards are acting like that as well. So I could add that in. I could even act one of the other tarot decks that could be more than that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to open yourself. You have to open yourself up. You have to open yourself up, because that's what you have to do. Now, not only that, speaking about that, I have to do this. Okay, so we're going to look at this. So let's see. So who is following the 10 zodiac signs in this picture? And what's the good way of knowing about this as well? Give me a good card as well. The world. Aha. Actually, the world. The world represents actually all completion. There's gonna be a new cycle and such a old cycle, whatnot. That's what this seems to be. That's what this seems to be that, and that's why it seems to be that card. Okay, it almost says, okay, I can have a whole entire completion. That's what it means, and I agree that it means to that. Now the thing is about that, saying I'm going to do this, okay, with this book, but with this, I'm going to do with that as well. So that's why this is why that is a long reading as well. I'm sorry to keep it long for you. Sorry, but this is how I'm trying to keep this reading more updated. Okay, this is why it is leveling from not negative, but it's a positive way. The only one is like that. That's what it is. But everything seems to be good. Like it is a coordination. It's everything is working together, right? As a team, right? So you have to do that as you look at that way. Now, not only that I'm going to put that there. I'm going to do this. So without further ado, I'll bring this down. So tell me something. What would be good for this reading that is the goddess of the moon with the 10 of Zodiac Signs? Oh, you just flipped. Ah, interesting. Interesting. Did you see that? Yeah, you did. Right. So let's see. Let's see what it is. The deer. Nice, eh? Nice card. The deer represents be kind to yourself and others. Be kind to yourself and with others. Now, let me read about that. I actually forgot to read the other one. Whoops. Oh well. Ah, I'm just such a funny guy. Okay. Oh yeah. Let's let's read this. Okay, so let's see. And this is actually a long reading as well because I haven't did this card yet. But let me read. Dear, it says, be kind to yourself and others. Dear says, there is something called the golden rule that you may have heard of, which which says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Another way of saying that of saying this is that whatever you put out will come back to you. So if you're kind to others, people, animals, and plants, then that kindness will come back to you. If you're mean to others, then you will find meanness comes right back to you, right back at you. Of course, there will be moments when you don't feel so kindly towards others, but try to get back on track by doing something nice for someone, and don't forget to be nice to yourself. If you get angry or upset with yourself, let let it go as quickly as you can. Perhaps by talking to a trusted adult or a friend and getting their help. This doesn't mean you always have to be nice, but just do your best as much as you can. And don't try to be perfect, just be kind. The activity says today do at least two nice things for someone else. See how it makes you feel. Help out your sister or brother with a chore. Look for opportunities to help others, such as helping a younger child with a task or cleaning up after others. Be willing to apologize to someone if you have hurt their feelings, whether or not you meant to do so. Share something with another child, such as food or a toy. So, so, so it means that when I look at this reading here, like this, it means that when I said about apologizing, this actually this actually indicates that you have to turn your I'm trying to figure this out. You have to you have to turn things around. You have to turn things around. Such as number one will be changing your attitude. Number two, changing your energy. Those are the two things. Change your attitude, change your energy. That's what you have to do. Because you have to be kind to yourself and others at the same time. When it means about if you're being mean to someone, it will come back right at you, right? It will come back to me or somebody else. But you have to understand that you have to destroy the negativity out of your system to get that out and then put new energy into yourself, such as positive energy. That's what you have to do. But it means that you could be looking at yourself and think, oh, this is too much, or I'm going overboard, or I'm just not okay. Well, there's something wrong with you. You don't know what it means, but you have to understand that, okay, well, what's wrong with me then? Like, why are others backing away from me? Or did I did something wrong? Or something, right? There is a good quote and a good saying, a good old saying. My old saying is that it's not all about me, but it's all about you, which means it's your energy, not mine. And that's what you have to do. The quote, it's like nothing is impossible to make it possible. You have to do that. You have to do that. Because when you put sides, like, I don't know, you put one side, you put the other side, right? And you like move like this. That's good energy. But when you don't move, then it's like, what the heck am I doing? So you have to just take a deep breath and then just calmly settle down and then rethink of what you did was wrong right behind it, right? So that's why it seems to be that this is a good reading, and it is. Now, not only that, okay, I'll do one more thing as well. So we haven't did the playing cards, but I'm going to do that as well. So tell me something that'll be the good about this, um, with the 10 zodiac signs in here. Is there any more zodiac signs that is actually following this? So let's see. Oops. Okay, I'll put that there. How's that? And there we go. The Ace of Hearts. Ace of Hearts represents Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So you do the math. That's actually 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 13 zodiac signs here. Okay, 13 now because I added this in. So and that means that this is a whole lot. This is a lot. So I know that this seems to be more than I'm talking about, but I will do one more reading, and then that's it. So The further ado is that I hope that you will like this. Hope you will enjoy this. Okay, but just remember that the 13 zodiac signs here, you have to follow it. You have to follow this, 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 and this as well. Okay, you have to follow it. But good on you. Good about that. So just give me 1 second here. All right. So I'll do one more, and then this will be it. Which means that this is going to be the good one. So hopefully I have a awesome rating. If it will be good, and then that'll be it. Right? So hopefully you will like this. One more. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to move this. But I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to move that, 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 that. Right. So let's see what this will be. All right. So we have the Lovers is upright. Interesting. The Nine of Swords is reversed or upright, not reversed. Right. The Knight of Cups is upright. Interesting. The Ace of Cups is upright. Ah, the Queen of Swords is reversed. Interesting. And the Five of Pentacles. So we have Cups, Swords, Pentacles. So we have at least 6 zodiac signs here, but let's count, or let's do it. We have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Then we have uh, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. There we go. That's 9 zodiac signs here. Okay. So basically, in this reading, all you want, this is going to be the last and final one, just to let you all know. So we are only having one reverse. That is so bizarre. One reverse card. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 upright again. So in this reading, the Queen of Swords reversed. Let me read this to you. Swords, eh? The Queen of Swords reverses, you're allowing others to dominate you as you show weakness, even if you're strong inside. Or you may be allowing your emotions to get the better of you. Reconnect with your inner strength and or to create positive change. Okay, so you know how I did the other reading, and I said about fierce inside, about no strength. This is a part of that. Okay, you're letting others dominate you. You are letting others dominate you. What that means is that you are acting weakness. Weakness is where everyone's going to get vulnerable and you can be attacked by their energy compared to yours. Even if it's a guy or a girl or woman on woman or all boys or all girls, whatever it means. You have to sit there and think and think and think and saying, how can I have my strength back? How can I do this? How can I do this without no help? Well, it means that you have to build a good moderation. You have to have moderation, motivation, whatever it is. You have to believe in yourself that you can do this. You can do this on your own and then think, okay, I got this. Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm going to see this. Then you have to see it. You have to see it and then you have to say, okay, I'm going to get this. I'm going to do this on my own. Then yeah, you would. Like that's why when I say about like a soccer field, you know, you're playing soccer and you're a player and then all of a sudden someone's saying something to be rude or mean or whatever and you're acting all, oh, I'm not going to do this. Oh, I'm not going to play anymore. Or I'm going to be acting weakness. Oh, I can't do this. And all of a sudden, your emotions are gone and all that. And all of a sudden, it's like, okay, I might as well, I might as well act a different way. Then go ahead and act a different way. You know, like take that soccer ball and go after and go from one end of the field to the other end and kick it right into the goal, like whereby the goalie is, right? But the thing is that when you're acting weakness and you're saying, "Oh, I can't do this anymore. I quit." Really, you're gonna quit after a soccer game? Yeah. Then okay, right? And this is why I'm just exaggerating about it. I'm just like acting this out. It seems to be that. It really seems to be that. That's why you have to have strength. You have to have strength and you have to have your own ability to do this. You have to build yourself up. You have to do that. But when you're acting weakness, people are dominating you because you can be vulnerable. You can be under attack. But you don't know why. You don't know seem to be it's impossible that, oh, why everyone doesn't like me or why I can't play anymore or why I quit. Quitting is like just quitting because you don't want to do this anymore. But you know, that's why it seems to be that okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to have a good way of doing this. Then go ahead and do it. But when you look at your own life, you have to put it into a good way of knowing what to do, right? And that's why you have to think before you act, right? You have to. You have to have like you have to going to be having more step forward. You're going to move forward more in even though of my calculation of not going backward anymore. You're moving forward. You can't go back anymore. You have to move forward. You have to move forward, right? It's like going through a maze, right? Picture yourself going through a maze, and then all of a sudden you're in the middle, and then you completely lost. There's there's one in here, there's one in here, and then it's like, okay, if I turn this way, then then I don't see I don't see another entrance. We start looking through, let's say let's say there was a probably pine trees along, and you're stuck with that. Okay. Well, if you turn yourself around to a different way, like me looking at the camera, when I look at myself the different way, you're going through the entrance, and then you're moving your way all the way until you get to the end. That's what it is, right? But let's not talk about mazes. Let's just talk about this, okay? It is a good way of knowing that there's 9 zodiac signs here, right? Before there was 13. Before that, there were 10. You do the math, okay? And that's a lot. That's really a lot, okay? But what I'm saying is that when when people are feeling that, okay, I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm going to I'm going to make myself afraid or worried, or I'm going to stay home. Then fine, stay home. But remember that when people have family together, they have to spend time together. But when family splits and you're all in different cities and different towns and different places, your family will still be with you. Only you're not there in person, right? That's what it seems to be like, where you have to have when others dominate you and you don't like their opinions, then you have to stop them from doing it, right? Because they like to maybe take you down, maybe. But you have to change your rotation. You have to change your length, your level, um, which means that your length is this way. Your level has to be this way. But if it's flattened like this, well, you're stuck, right? But your length is keep going, keep going, right? It's like looking at yourself like a measure tape, right? You have to get through that measuring tape from the floor to the roof, and then back to the roof to the floor. That yeah. But I'm not talking about that. So what I'm trying to say is like you have to look at things in that way, right? You have to improve yourself, saying, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this soccer guy down. I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm not gonna beat his butt and whatever it is, right? You have to have that. You have to have the right solution. You have to solve the problem and find the solution. You have to do that. In order to have that, you do that. But if you don't have what I said before, like what I said, if you can't find a solution and you can't find a situation, then don't then worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's nothing there anymore. But the problem is that when you see yourself more differently, and I'm going to say this, it's tough love. It's tough love because it's tough. It's tough in reality. It's tough in your own life. It's tough in your career, your money, or whatever it is. It's tough because you have to see things differently. You have to. right? It is. And this reading is not over yet, but soon will. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is this is how it's gonna be. Now, not only that, I'll do the oracle card that I have here to do this, and then I'll do the other tarot things. I'm going to add that in. Then I'm going to add this, and then the playing cards, and then I'm going to add the um, the spiritual animal card, and then it will be done the reading. So, but anyway, this is how it's gonna reflect this. Okay, so let's see. So tell me something that involves the nine zodiac signs in this picture. Um, so we have water, air, and earth right now. So tell me something that is, yeah, just tell me something about this. So, because I like to read more and want to see if this is going to be good. So, let's see what this is. Walking away. See, didn't I say something about that? Okay. Walking away. We're going to read that. Right. So let's see. Walking away is walking away is letting go and moving on. Okay. Now, this is gonna be more. So it says an upright. So let me read. This card shows someone walking away from an existing situation. She is closing the gate behind her and is walking away into a misty, unknown future. This card upright reveals that it could be time for you to make a familiar decision. There may be something that you're finished with, perhaps a career, goal, a relationship, or a long-term experience of any kind. The familiarity of the situation may be enticing, but you're now ready to look at your options on the open road ahead. In reality, an important new beginning is at hand. This card also indicates that now would be a good time to let go of an old habit, emotional pattern, or false belief. No matter no matter how deeply ingrained a negative pattern may be, you now have the power to release it and move onto a freer, healthier way of thinking and relating to yourself and others. Whether it is in the inner or outer world, this card is telling you that you have the readiness and resources to walk away from the old and move forward now. That's what this means. Okay? You have to you have to look at that where you're going to move things along. You have to emphasize the solution. Okay? And and it means something that when you're walking away from, let's say, Let's say, for example, what I did about the acting, like the soccer thing, right? The soccer, like you're being a player and then you're playing soccer. So, and that means that you're walking away and saying, I can't do it. I'm going to quit soccer. I'm going to do my own hobby. I'm going to walk away. Really? Then did he forgot to apologize? Did he forgot to say, oh, I'm not gonna be in what like in sports anymore? Then what can you do? What are you going to do to make your life more happier for you? Okay, let's just put that into a good question. What are you gonna do in life without sports? Question. Well, it means that if you can't take the heat anymore, if you can't take the heat of doing sports, and if you want to quit, then that's fine. But remember that when you have memories of doing sports, then it is, right? That's why it seems to be that you can do this, you can motivate yourself, you can do all kinds of stuff. But it means that when you're walking away from some kind of a solution and you can't find the answer, you can't find the situation, you're walking away from it, like sports. Without the future of sports, even if you don't want to do sports anymore in your own entire life, then that's fine too. You can even do sports in your backyard instead of doing it, let's say, with your friends or your family or whatever. When you're walking away from the situation here, even when you get um, vulnerable, like vulnerability and whatever, you know, it's like you're letting others to be stronger and you're being weaker. You're letting all these emotions, you're all uh, having all these people's words telling you what to do, telling you what not to do, and circling your brain and whatever. When you're walking away, you have to stop in order to keep going. Like rest, take a break, and then move, and then keep moving. Okay, that's why it is. That's why it seems to be like, okay, I got this. Then go ahead. But when you're walking away, it seems to be like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna take this anymore. I'm not going to emphasize where I'm not going to play soccer anymore. Then okay, do what you have to do. Do what you can do without playing sports. That's why I'm saying that was a good question to answer, right? That's why I gave myself an answer and then, or give myself a question and then answer that. Okay, but that's what it has to do. You have to, because if you don't want to play sports, then just have memories. Take pictures of it, then you don't have to join in, right? But if you're in the league or if you're in, let's say, Special Olympics or whatever it is, it's like, okay, then you're in the sports thing. But what I'm trying to do in this reading here, when you're walking away from it, it's like you're saying, okay, I can't do this, I'm gonna quit. Then fine, quit, right? That's what this reading is all about. That's why when I talk to myself to the camera, I'm talking to my viewers as well, so they can pay attention. But the point being is that, like, when my viewers like my videos and so much, they have to learn something from it, right? That's what I'm saying about this reading. That's what I'm saying. Okay, there's 9 zodiac signs here in this picture. There's 9, not 10, not more, not whatever. That's 9 zodiac signs. But if I add more to it, like okay, so we're going to do that. Then we're going to do what I'm saying. The analytical cards is next, and then the playing cards is next. What that means is that when I do the playing cards, it will add more. zodiac signs to that. So, so it means that it. That's why this reading isn't over. It is almost, but not quite. I'm just trying to explain something with the soccer and quitting and all that. You have to understand that when someone dominated you and you say, okay, I don't have the strength anymore, I can't do it, my back hurts, my whatever, then if you're saying that your back hurts, okay, and you can't do that, and you can't do sports anymore, then you gotta quit. When you have back problems, okay, it hurts. It really hurts. But when you do exercises, it won't hurt. So when I'm trying to get back on track of the subject here, that's why it is. That's why it seems to be that okay, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Then do it. Do it, do it, do it until you put your mind to it, right? And that's what it is. So, further ado with that, hopefully you will understand with that now. Now I'm going to do I think I'm going to do the animal card, and then I'll do the other one. But anyway, pay attention to more of that. Okay, pay attention to more. Right. So tell me something that is walking away, um, like yeah. Show me something that would be good with that. The elephant. You can overcome any problem. You can overcome any problem. Nice picture, right? Okay, let me read about that. You can overcome any problem. Yeah, this seems to be a joyful um, reading here. Let me let me do this. Okay. Let's see. The elephant. You can overcome any problem. Right. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to not going well. I'm going to try to multitask, but I'm going to show you. So it says, Elephant says, I'm sure sometimes you feel like you are faced with what seems like in insurmountable problems. You had some trouble with one of your subjects at school. One of your parents got upset with you. A friend you usually play with for some reason didn't want to hang out with you today, or you have lost something and you can't seem to find it. We all do that when we can't find something to find it. Whether it's one particular problem or one of those times when it seems like nothing is going right, it can be quite overwhelming. When you're overwhelmed, it's hard to think straight or figure out what to do. So the first thing is to pause for a few minutes, take some deep breaths, and tell yourself, I am relaxed as you breathe. Okay? Remind yourself that most problems you face are not as big as you think they are, and that you have a number of resources that can help solve just any problem. The first resource to turn to is your parents and other trusted allies. If it helps to solve the problem, you can use the internet and books to research ways other people have solved similar problems or find specific steps to take to resolve the situation. But you must always strongly believe that you can solve the problem. Just remember that you don't have to go it alone. Activity. When confronted with a difficult change, repeat the phrase "I can do it" several times and feel what happens in your body before and after. Find the good things that came out of facing and solving a problem and write one or two of those down in your journal. If you have if you have tried solving the problem alone but haven't done so, don't give up completely. Ask for ask for advice or help from a relative or a friend. You know, it's exactly what it is. It's that you are going through two energies. You're walking away, let's say you don't have help, and secondly, you need help. Okay, that's why when you put these two together, you have this. But when you have this, it doesn't seem pretty. Okay, it doesn't seem that because you're letting others dominate you, where you're feeling vulnerable, right? So, so in that means that when I look at it that way, it's basically that, right? And that's why that this is a trippy situation. It's actually trippy, not falling. You're going to trip. No, trippy means that this is just it. There is nine zodiac signs are in different categories and different situations that they're going through right now. The pandemic is probably hitting them right, left, and center. Okay, because that's what it has to be, right? You have to overcome any problem. You have to walk away. You have to you have to already sit and think. You already did that. And you're already quitting sports and all that, right? Even if you have a situation like your back and saying, "No, I can't do it," right? So, you have to like raise your own voice so people can hear you from a different room or whatever it is. You have to do that because you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself that okay, I can do it. I can take care of this. I can understand this. That's why that's why that this is so far a good reading. And that's what it is. Because you're walking away and you can overcome any problem, then do that. Right? You have that it says right there what the elephant is saying to you. Like when you have a big problem, it doesn't seem to be it's big. It could be small, right? But if it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, you think, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Right? And then people say, there's nothing wrong with you, right? And that's why I got that from whatever. But anyway, this is why it seems to be that it has to be impressive of doing this. You have to make progress. right? And then you have to process it until it comes out. And that's what it is. Okay? It has to work. It has to work so it can work. If it doesn't work, then you have failed, right? And you can't take it anymore. So that's what I'm saying about this, right? You have you have to learn something new. This is something new. And that's what it is. Okay? Now, that's basically it for now for this. But there's one last thing. It's this. So who's following the nine zodiac signs? So let's see what it is. All right. This way you do this. Do this. The five of diamonds represents uh, earth signs: Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. Okay, so basically you do the math. So 9, so 10, 11, 12. That's 12 zodiac signs. There you go. So 12 zodiac signs have to follow this, this, and this. Okay? Anyway, thank you for enjoying this lovely video. And basically, the only thing that I'm going to maybe just read, maybe just read about something here. Um, Basically, it's truth about healing, but I'm going to do this. So while I'm moving this up, okay. So I'm going to read something that will help this. Um, let's see. Uh, I'm going to read you. Okay. Um, Chapter 13 in this book. It's not enough just to be saved, to be set free. Okay? And this is how it's going to involve everything else. Okay? Here we go. We are talking about receiving God's word and being set free. It is not enough just to be saved, to be set free. After being saved, you must then get into God's word. It is the truth that will set you free. It is the truth that will take you out of entanglement you have been in. It is the truth that begins to undo the knots of sin out of your life. It is the truth that begins to change the way you think. It is it is the truth that begins to turn you around and put you in the right direction. It is the truth that begins to transform you so that you know what a Christian is and how a Christian believes, thinks, talks, and how a Christian is supposed to act. I cannot prove of or or put God's will to the test, or be a priest unto my God. Until I know what the word has to say, I have to continue with the Word of God until it goes from being a page in the Bible to a living truth in my heart. This truth I am about to illustrate is so good. You should not just be thinking of this as a good lesson. It is not a lesson, it is truth. I'm trying to penetrate this truth into your mind and into your heart, so you begin to experience the reality of it in your spirit. I don't know if there's more. Yes, it is. Sorry. Good thing it's gonna be on. This is gonna be a little bit more. I want you to think that is right. That is right. I don't have to be bound. I don't have to be sick anymore. I don't have to be beat up, oppressed, and defeated. I'm not going to reject God's word. Just because someone else didn't make it doesn't mean I don't have to. If I get in the word, I can understand, I can stand, and I don't care what the test is. How hard it is, how bad it is beating against me. I can have a house that can stand and not fail or fall. How can this happen for you? By the word of God. The infallible scriptural basis for this truth is found in 2 Peter 1:1-4. Simon, Simon Peter, a servant and an apostle of Jesus Christ, to them that have obtained like precious faith with us, through the righteousness of God and our Savior Jesus Christ. Peter is saying that God has given to me the same kind of faith he gave to Peter. I have the same kind of faith that the Apostle Peter had had when he reached down and took the lame man by the hand and jerked him up at the gate. I have the same kind of faith he had when he saw the vision and went to Cornelius's house, preached the, the gospel, and helped them get saved and filled with the Holy Ghost. Yes, I have the same kind of faith he had when he said, Jesus Christ make him thee whole, and jerked the lame man up. I have the same kind of faith that knelt down by Tabitha's bed when God set her free, and took her by the hand and lifted her up. But it is not just me who has this kind of faith. You do too. How did I get this kind of faith? Through the righteousness of God and our Savior Jesus Christ. When I entered into right standing with God through Jesus, He gave me a measure of faith just like He gave the Apostle Peter. I have that faith on the inside of me. I have a covenant with God. Jesus is my Lord. I am in right standing with God, but just because I have faith, right standing, and every opportunity and privilege that the apostles had, does not mean God has stopped his blessing there. The rest of the text in 2 Peter 1:2 reads, Grace and peace be multiplied unto you through the knowledge of God and 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 of Jesus our Lord. He said he would not just add grace and peace, but he would multiply it. Grace is God marking me with his favor. Favor means unearned privileges. It means God marks me with his favor and says, I am going to put my blessings on you. I am going to bless you, mark you, and paint you so I can find you and bless you. All right, this is almost finished. We go through 16 and 17, and that's oh, probably 16. That's it. This shall be multiplied, not by faith, but through the knowledge of God and of Jesus our Lord. The more knowledge I have of God and the word of the Lord Jesus Christ, the more grace and peace I will have in my life. Look at what verse 3 says. According as his divine power hath given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness. The power he had, the power he is speaking, though here, is the power that raised Jesus from the dead. In emphasis in Ephesians 1, the Bible says that when Jesus was raised from the dead, God seated him in the heavenly places and seated us together with him, far above all principalities and powers. It says in Ephesians 1 that God gave him a name that was above all other names. God made him Lord. How do we get all the things that pertain unto life and godliness? The rest of Peter 2, 1 3 says, through the knowledge of him that hath called us to glory and virtue. How do we get all these things? Through knowledge, revelation, knowledge of God gets me over into what God has already provided for me. How do I receive that knowledge? The rest of the text reads, whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises. 2, 2 Peter 1:4a. As he talks about those that are in faith, in right standing with God, those on whom power has been poured out so they can partake of life and godliness. How are we going to get this knowledge? Through exceeding great and precious promises. We read on in remainder of verse 4 to find out what to do with precious promises. That by these ye might be partakers of divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. So it means that, like, oh my god, like it's a lot of words that I was trying to do, but when I like look at this, from chapter 13 to page 17, it is a long chapter, but you have to turn you around and put you in the right direction, right? When I read this, you have to do that. You have to look at things in a different way, right? I always tell you this because you have to look at things in a different way, right? And when you look at things in a different way, you have to believe in that, okay? And that's why this is a good mapping. Like it's like almost like set in stone, but it's not. This is why it's a good mapping of it, because you have to believe and you have to understand that you have all these things, and you go from one emotion to another emotion to another emotion to another emotion. Imagine yourself playing a an arcade game. It's called Pitbull, and you have to go from click one end and the ball goes and all that, right, and hits everything else. And I don't know if you remember that game, but if you do, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, just imagine your emotion is like a ball, and it has to hit from one end to the other end to the other end to the other end until it goes down. And you have to go there so it goes up again. That's what you have to do. But that's why that this is a good reading. It is good. But that's why it has to be good, and that's why that this seems to be right and involved, and that's why it is right. So you have to understand that. So you have to do that because you know it yeah. But anyway, thank you for thank you for watching this video. Thank you for enjoying this fantastic, fabulous reading to all of you. And I hope everything seems to be okay. And that's why this is involving good. Okay. And it has to be the great things to be involved. Okay. Because, when you find yourself to be in the wrong direction, you have to turn yourself around and say, okay, I'm going to go that direction. Because you have to do that, right? And that's why it seems to be that it's impossible to make it possible. That's what you have to do. Make it possible to be impossible. Vice versa. But that's what you have to do. But before I let you go, this is the only thing that you need to learn is just this reading. Just learn about this reading, learn about the others, and be kind to yourself, to one another. But thank you for watching this video, and I hope you will like it, and hopefully you understand this, and hopefully you learn something. Bye.